hour drive-by past a local Walgreens store in the Valley, and you may hear classical music playing at high volume. What's the purpose, though? And why does it seem to be coming from all these tall security boxes with flashing blue lights? Fox 5's Mike Allen encountered that music while reporting last night. He explains what the purpose is.
Some classics from the 19th century. Filling the air of the Walgreens parking lot on Flamingo and Boulder Highway. It's coming from the speakers on top of this box with a tall pole, which you can find at different Walgreens locations throughout the valley. They're manufactured by a company called Live View Technologies, which Walgreens says it brings in to play outside of its stores to help deter loitering on the premises. In a statement, the company added, it takes steps to ensure the music is only loud enough for the immediate area around the store and cannot be heard by residents in surrounding neighborhoods. Some people may see this as a necessary step at this Walgreens, like this person who left a Yelp review complaining about feeling unsafe walking past homeless folks near the front of the store. But at other locations,
I drive by here. This is not a hangout spot. Or a bad traffic area.
Some folks I talked with Tuesday had their doubts about the utility of these boxes.
This is definitely Orwellian right here.
The one outside the Walgreens at Flamingo and McLeod was not playing music when I was there Tuesday afternoon, but according to LVT's website, those boxes do a lot more than just play music, with 24/7 video recording, thermal and infrared detection, and cloud-based communication with the user. It also touts the cost savings of its product over a security guard, but one woman I talked with, who shops down the street from that Walgreens on Flamingo and McLeod, says she'd like someone in person instead.
It would be nice if there was a security guard that used to be here before, and he would stand by the door, so that deterred people from just walking in if they had no business in there.
And we also spoke off camera with several employees at that Flamingo and Boulder Highway intersection. They told Fox 5 they're happy the music is being played since they can feel unsafe at times.